Nice little setup. Hey, Selena here, Selena Baca Crochet. I'm on vacation. This is vacation Selena, and I'm down here at Cannon Beach, Oregon, and I was just visiting Coastal Yarn Store, and while I was in there, I just happened to run into Jen at Loose Ends. I'm gonna put links and tags and all of that, but we're both here with our families. And I was like, what a cool opportunity. I'm just going to kind of do this rapid fire, getting to know you.
Perfect. That's great.
Interview. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. But here we go. Because we may only have 15 minutes before our families are like,
our families are going to get cranky. So I think mine's eating. So we're okay right now. But
I know mine is wandering, maybe. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, you're Jen from Loose Ends.
I'm Jen Simonik from Loose Ends. I'm a co-founder with Macy Kaplan of the Loose Ends Project, and we connect people with unfinished projects to people who will finish them.
Wow.
So we have about 25,000 finishers across the globe in 64 countries. And we finished about 2,000 projects in the last 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did this start? What made you start this organization?
Well, it's not a new idea to finish people's projects. People do that all the time, so I like to put that out front because that's not what's new. What is new is having strangers do it for you.
Yeah.
And I've finished a lot of projects. My partner has finished a lot of projects. She had a project that was somebody had made for her, and it was for a friend, and it was a sweater that had been almost finished, so she finished it. I've finished things for people a lot, and what happened is a friend of ours named Patty, her mom had passed away and left 2 unfinished crochet blankets.
Yeah.
And I am a terrible crocheter. And but I was going to do it because I love my friend Patty.
Yeah.
And then Macy and I had been talking about working together, and she said, you know what? How about we try this idea?
Yeah.
And from that, Macy made a website, and we walked around town and put up flyers. I think my name and phone number are still on most of those that are out.
Is it in Seattle?
In Seattle and in Portland, Maine. So we're across the country from each other, but we've been friends for 30 years. So and it just kind of took off. It's funny because it resonates with crocheters and with knitters and quilters because everyone's going to leave something behind. But what's funny is when I talk to people who don't knit or crochet, they're always like, and people do that for free. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, but why? And I'm like, well, because they understand how important it is.
Yeah.
And either get it or you don't, I think. So
you're either part of that who really understands the love and the hard work that goes into it,
or you don't,
or not yet,
or you don't.
You don't understand it yet.
And then what happens is when you do get something finished because Grandma left something for you, I think that kind of like sparks. There's a lot of people who are like, I didn't realize how much this would mean to me, and then we got it done, and now they're our biggest fans. So it's kind of cool. So it's been kind of a journey. We've been doing this for almost 2 years come August. 2 years come August.
I felt like it was so much older than that just because I've been hearing about it for so long. So I guess job well done. It's really it's like wildfire.
We are the dog that caught the car in some way.
That's such a great expression. I really love that. Okay, so for the average person who maybe has never heard of this, how can people get involved or participate? What would make the most difference to you?
So there's 3 ways you can get involved. You can become a finisher. We always need more finishers because our projects come from all over the place, and we like to match people up locally.
Yeah.
And the things we look for are local, the skill set, and the druthers. That's how Macy likes to say, like, do you really want to do it? Like, I know how to crochet. I'm not going to crochet a blanket.
We send this to you. Is it actually going to happen? How do you suss out people who want to participate? How do you do that?
So what we do is we, at first we were working in spreadsheets, and that was awful. So people submit projects online through Google Sheets, and soon through our app, they submit projects through the web.
The unfinished projects.
So I don't actually touch or see or feel any of these. I just get images of them, and then when I get images, I'll say, okay, I need a better image, or I need the front and the back, because we do anything thread, basically. So it could be knitting, anything from felting all the way up to finished garments.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I mean. So what happens is then we have, I'll look at everything, and then I will take that address of that person and put it into our little handy dandy app. A map pops up, and we get to see who's around with that skill, and then we send them an email. Hey, you've been picked. We send them an email. We text message them and say, hey, we're interested in seeing if you want to do this project, and then they can ask some questions, like clarifying questions, like, how big is this?
Right.
Is it and some people love different things, like if somebody sent me a doily bedspread to make, I'd probably start crying, but there's some people that is their jam, like they love doing that.
That's true. Yeah.
And what we've also done with some of those is like get groups of people to work on them, because they get done a little faster that way.
True. Yeah.
We just had a set of needlepoint ornaments that a group of 6 stitchers put together, and they finished it for this woman in time for Christmas, which is kind of amazing.
Gosh.
So we have a lot of really great finishers that and we want to make sure that we never want it to be something that's torture. So
yeah, it should be an enjoyable experience, something really valuable for everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, 'cause you don't want to have pain while you're trying to do a good thing, right?
That's
like
true.
that's no fun.
That's true. Oh
so
my gosh.
it's I like to think of us as a Red Cross for crafting, because we have so many people and not everyone's going to get a project.
Yeah.
So the 3 ways you can help are sign up to be a finisher, and you might get a project. Talk about us.
Yeah.
If you've got a project, submit it, and then if you've got a spare couple of bucks, we have a donate page.
Okay.
Right now, Joanne's Crafts is our sponsor, and they do Roundup at the Counter. So we're hoping that they're going to do that again for us in February, which was huge for us last year.
Okay.
And right now, Lion Brand, actually this weekend, Lion Brand Yarn is doing a special where if you go to their website and you plug in the discount code LE. Come on.
We'll look it up.
We'll look it up.
verify.
I'll give it to you. And there's a code.
There's a code.
And you get a discount of 15%, and we get 10% of the total spend. So.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah,
and that's all this weekend.
And that's all this
Okay.
weekend. They're going to be doing something for us monthly, which is kind of exciting.
Wow.
And we've got some
Yeah.
other fun things in the works. And the reason that we need donations is so that we can continue our work. It takes about 40 hours a week each of us to run this. So it's a full-time job now.
Yeah.
And we also are trying to get our tech to a point where it's not torture to. Right now, it's a lot of cut and paste and a lot of emails and a lot of reaching out.
I see.
So to automate some of it, never the matching process itself, but the hey, how's your project going? Like to automate that kind of stuff would
Yeah.
make it easier for everybody.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've learned so much in the last 2 years.
I'm
We've
sure
learned
you
so
have.
much. So.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there any specific stats you want to share just to kind of give people a different understanding of what you do?
Yeah, definitely. We work in over 35. I'm actually doing an Instagram live, my love. That was my.
Say hi.
That was my 18-year-old son. What we do, so I guess the bare bones facts are, we've been around for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're a 501c3, which means we're a nonprofit. All of our members, the 25,000 people who have signed up, are willing to do work for free to finish a project.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people get one project in a lifetime, which is kind of amazing that they do that. We have 35,000 hours of volunteer work in the last 2 years.
Logged so far.
So
wow.
far.
Okay.
And that's with about 75% of our people reporting. So
wow.
that's kind of the amazing part, because
Okay.
you know how long it takes to make stuff. I
takes
know
a
how
minute.
long it
Yeah.
takes a minute, and this is not. One of the things that I'm kind of vehement about is like our project owners really might not understand. They understand that they can't do the project,
Yeah.
so they're really excited when someone does it for them. But I understand how much work it does, and we don't make these requests lightly. It's a big deal that someone's sharing their time and talent with us. So it's kind of amazing.
It is kind of amazing.
And we don't know how many projects we finished, not because we can't count. On our spreadsheet it says about 1,300. However, most of the projects, think about your crochet bag. Is there one project in there? Are there multiples? What usually happens is somebody gets the bag and they're like, oh, I'm doing this. And it's like, oh, Mom was a great crocheter. And you're like, no, she was a knitter. And kind of okay, but
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. We're gonna
Yeah,
finish it anyway. And no, that's not a hat. That was 2 bedspreads and
Oh, that's
a sweater.
well, I guess they wouldn't know. They wouldn't be able
have-
to assess. Yeah.
They have no idea,
Oh,
and
my
that's the
gosh.
fun part because
Yeah.
we get to see what was actually happening. And I have to say, our finishers are wonderful people, but they're also like the kind of people who will be like, "Hey, this was 1 blanket, but I had enough to do a layette set, so I did the whole thing." And you're like, "Oh, all right, that's nice."
No way.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we had one person who got a quilt,
Okay.
1 quilt,
Yeah.
and we got a message back. Oh well. It was really 8 lap quilts, so I made one. I made them all for the family for their memorial service. I was like, yeah, like that's the kind of people who do this.
my
Because you guys
gosh.
out there, all you crafters are amazing people and
Yeah.
so incredibly generous.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part.
Oh my gosh.
I get to see people at their best, which is amazing. Like,
That's such a nice way of putting. That's such a beautiful way of putting it.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, even sometimes we have people who like pick up something and they're like, I had no idea that this was going to be so hard, and I can't, like, I'm losing my eyesight. I can't do this. And we'll say, that's fine. You're part of the story now. Just
Yeah.
get it back to us, and we'll move you on to the next person. So,
Oh wow.
so we're like the Red Cross for craft in that
Yeah.
you never know when the tsunami's going to hit, but when it does, we're ready for it because we've got people all over the place. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I'm so excited I got to see you.
I know. Okay, I have 100 more questions.
Okay.
This is hopefully the first of many times we can get together.
Oh, that'd be great.
fantastic.
You love Macy. You should talk to her too.
I love this. Okay, this. I could keep going, but I think we're going to end it here. So if you guys have any questions about loose ends, if there's anything you want me to ask, anything you want us to follow up on, just let me know. And the next time we get together,
Definitely.
I'll have more.
Definitely. And you're
Um,
in Bend.
I'm in Bend.
And
yeah,
I'm in
Oregon.
Seattle,
I
so-
know.
And I'll be in Eugene.
Yeah.
So
We'll probably run into each other again at
Definitely.
the next local yarn shop.
Exactly.
So far right now, if you're watching live, I just have one link to Loose Ends. That's just one place you can get in touch, but I'm going to get tons more. But again, any questions you guys have, go ahead and post it, and we'll put something more together.
Super fun. Thank you so
Alright.
much. It was such a nice.
This was really nice. I love this. All right. Peace, everybody. See you next time. Bye.